Konnichiwa, minasan. This is Lori from the Samurai Way podcast. So glad that you are joining us. And today we have an extension or a continuation of Christine Heckel's journey. So this is going to be exciting to learn more about the intricate parts of her discovery, her journey, and her way back to wellness. She is a former HR leader and an international company and a stress regulation and sustainable performance specialist helping entrepreneurs and leaders achieve high performance without burnout. Don't we all want that? After a severe Lyme disease related health crisis, she completely redefined her understanding of stress, success, and recovery, and now focuses on how the nervous system regulation and internal balance drives sustainable performance in high pressure environments. She's going to share with us about the Moiki Okada organization, and you will be amazed because this is my first time hearing about it. So you will enjoy this episode and be sure to tune in, like, subscribe, share with others. So welcome back to the stage, Christine. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much, Lori. My pleasure. I'm really honored to be here. Thank you so much.
And I'd like to hear about, we just alluded to that in our last session about Moiki Okada and his organization and how you came across it and what it's all about and how it helped you in your journey.
Mokichi Okada Association, which they call MOA International, I met them over 20 years ago when I was broke, when I really needed help, and traditional Western medicine was not capable of really supporting me enough. And I was referred to a center in the south of Spain where I used to live. And I went there and I learned so much about Japanese healing technique, which really, I would say, changed my life to the much better. And part of it is not only the healing technique, it's a life philosophy. So I have become a member of this association, MOA International, because I felt an affinity for this Japanese way of living, which is very much based on respecting others, on respect for oneself, honor, and yeah. So I was introduced to many different ways of living life more honorful for oneself in a more healthy way, incorporating, for example, art and culture, which is one of the main pillars of this association, because they believe that when people experience art and culture, so beauty, it's also contributing to their overall well-being, to their overall inner resilience and strength, and also to their healing. I have learned a lot about natural farming, for example. They're very famous for natural farming, not only in Japan, also globally. So I had the opportunity twice to visit some of their grounds, how they cultivate, how they maintain the ground, the soil, because the founder of the association, Mokichi Okada, he has written books about it. And literally universities from all over the world, they come to Japan to study that method of healthy natural farming, let me call it like this. Yeah, I learned about nutrition, looking at it from a different aspect, not just to satisfy maybe your hunger, but understanding really the nutritious value of food, how to prepare it, for example, how to prepare a light meal, for example, with fresh ingredients. So various aspects that I was introduced to, and I also had the pleasure to really study in depth some of it and bring it into my life, you know. I remember we did some studies about Ikigai, which is one of the in principles you also mentioned in your book, The Samurai Way. Ikigai in the sense of we started really making notes of our life, about the phases of our life, every step from being a toddler, really, because you don't remember when you get born, really, but being a toddler, all these stages of life and what have been your challenges? How did you fix yourself afterwards? Where we kind of even come into the Kintsugi, right? Which makes us stronger every experience. And then how we, at the end of the day, come to the point that we discover this ikigai, the meaning in our life, the purpose of our life, the passion in our life. And I have to say, when I walked this path, and this was not a quick path, obviously, it took some time, I understood the way I live, or I always wanted to live, is perfect. It's perfect. And it was just right. And I believe also when we do what we love, where our heart is, it's always right, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm interested in, you said you visited two centers, and if you could just give us a glimpse of what a day would look like in one of those centers.
Yeah. For example, you get always so warmly welcomed, as you know. They take notice of how you are, what your needs are in this very moment. And what you usually first receive is the therapy, the energetic healing, on the areas on your body that really need attention and care. And they discuss that together with you. If you want, there is also medical doctors, there are nurses in these special centers, which they call Ryoin, right? And so when you have passed through your energy healing, usually feel already very different. It very much clears also your mind. You become more aware of what is in the present moment. And then also usually become the opportunity to participate in a so-called flower therapy. And that's very interesting. It's an awareness, a mindfulness practice. This is from a selection of flowers. You choose one flower. You choose one flower and you emphasize with this flower from all aspects. You look at the flower from all angles. You feel it, you touch it, you look at how the flower is structured, right? And then you choose a vase, you want to display it for yourself. You arrange this one single flower and you contemplate on the flower and you spend the time with it. And the interesting thing is when you really look at the beauty of this flower, so you so deeply reconnect with this inner beauty within yourself. It is so heart touching. It is so beautiful. It's a wonderful experience. And obviously it's different for each and every one, but we look deeper, then we can look with our eyes, And then we have done also music therapy. While we did listen to music, but also we explored some instruments ourselves. We also participated in some art and culture. So we did some kind of painting where we're giving tools and we could create what we wanted. And also they incorporate very simple yet very effective exercises, physical exercises, which help you to move your exercise, your entire body, really, your limbs, and for more balance, for more flexibility. Yeah, that's what you literally do. So it can look very different for each and everyone. And last but not least, you enjoy the most delicious, most beautifully designed and served meal.
Well, you're
Obviously
making me
fresh,
hungry.
obviously fresh from their own organic natural farming. And when you taste this, you can taste literally the love from all those involved, from the farming, the transportation, to the preparation of the food, the cooking of the food, and the serving of the food. It's very special. I really believe so. Yes.
I've
Very
heard that that's one of the secret ingredients of Japanese food is love and care. And I believe it because it when you're in Japan and you eat the food, it's just like, so I don't want to go home. This is so good and it just tastes great. And I feel so healthy when I'm in Japan. I love going to Japan. It really is my happy place. Is there, of all the activities or different things that you were uh, involved in, was there anything that really spoke to you or really particularly helped you in your recovery?
Yeah, definitely the energy healing, When we do the energy healing, we must understand we obviously work on the physical body, but we are more than the physical body. We are body and mind, we're body and spirit. So what they incorporate is the electromagnetic field, the auric field, which we call this the primary body, spiritual body. When we cleanse that, we liberate us from these clouds, from these, how do you say, all that comes towards us from the outside world and that bothers us and then maybe creates a condition. Might it be a physical condition, a mental or an emotional condition? But when we clear out these, we call it clouds, no? When we clear these out, it's gone. You're like freed up. You have more energy, you have more clarity, you have more joy, you have more happiness, you have more gratitude for everything and everyone in life. And I like that because they have a principle, or Mukicho Carter, the founder, he said, the world eventually will be without illness, without poverty, and without conflict. And all these three aspects, they're so interrelated. So when someone is healthy, they can work. They don't have to suffer poverty. And if
Right.
they can work and they have all they need, there will be no conflict, no wars. So if you have everything literally what you need, there will be no greediness anymore. And the interesting thing is when you get treated, it eliminates all of that. All that makes you heavy, that the burdens, the worries, the fears, it literally clears it away. It's very interesting because it reconnects you with the pureness that I believe we all are in our origin state.
And find out what's really, concentrate on what's really important. And some of those other things are just, shall we say, not as important. And the things that bring you joy and the thing that makes you happy and makes you feel alive. And when you start going down that path, the world is a much better place. And as a former transition counselor in the prison, Washington State Prison, I would share
Wow.
with women about my book, and we would go through each one of the chapters: courage, integrity, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty. And if I asked them, I said, what would our world look like if everybody started adhering to at least one or maybe two of the principles? What would our world look like? Would we have to have this prison? There's so
Yeah.
many possibilities when people are really aligned and doing what makes sense or fills their joy, and actually there fills their purpose. And I said, because each one of you are a piece of the puzzle, and if a piece is not there, we need to fix it and help people get back into what they were meant to be, and the world would be a much better place to live in. Like you say, we wouldn't need to have wars, we wouldn't need to have all these other things that happen, because there's no worry, we don't need to worry. Everything will be taken care of if we all act nice, and if we have extra, why not give some away? We don't need to carry out. As Americans have abundance in our homes, and that's why we have thrift shops. But that also sometimes goes to third world countries, which is great because we don't need 10 or 15 pairs of shoes.
Absolutely.
So that's what
Hmm.
I like about that. And then also we have Marie Kondo, but there was somebody before her that actually came up with this concept of what you really need and pruning out what is not necessary, because it actually waits on you to have the extra possessions, and because you have to take care of them, you have to sort them, you have to clean them. So why not simplify life? We don't need 10,000 square foot mansions in order to live happy. We can live very Spartan lives or prune down lives and just keep what's really important to us. So I
Yeah.
just really appreciate you sharing about that, because I hadn't heard of that. What is it? Moiki Okada.
Mokichi Okada,
Mokichi.
yeah.
Mokichi.
Yeah, Mokichi Okada. And you
Mokichi.
know what I like about their idea is that in order to change the situation in the community or society, it starts with oneself.
Itself.
It expands into your family, into your closer environment, your friendships, into your local community, in your region, in your country, and eventually globally. And I very much believe in that. If we can be as, yeah, good-hearted as possible, it will definitely affect the people around us in a positive way. I believe that.
Yes, because sometimes people, maybe they're not happy inside, and so they want to make everything outside the way they want it, and they want you to bend into their mold or something like that. But my husband's mother said, you have a 24-hour job every day to take care of you,
Mm,
take care of you and do
wonderful.
what you do best. And so if people would adhere to that, and even myself, adhere to that, it's like, I need to take care of myself before I start trying to fix other people. That's not my
Yeah,
job to fix other
no,
people.
no, no, not at all. And I believe the same like when you go on a flight, when they explain to you the safety regulation rules. Now,
Yes.
oxygen mask first for yourself and then for others. Might it be children or people in need? First yourself. If you cannot take care of
Mhm.
yourself, you cannot do that for other. Time is very limited then. And I guess we all make this experience eventually at some time, especially we as women, as mothers. We want to give. This is our nature, I also believe, no? But we have to understand, if we don't take care of ourselves, life can become very hard, isn't it?
Mhm. And what's
Yeah.
going to happen to the people you're taking care of? They need to. It's like a car. How far can you
Yeah,
go without gas? You
yeah,
need
yeah. But then you
to
see
keep your tank full.
how many people really take well care of their car, but not of themselves.
Right,
It also
right.
exists. Yeah. Mm.
There's been so much wisdom in what you've shared, and we will put the information about Mokichi Okada. Is that right? Mokichi
Yeah,
Okada,
Mokichi Okada. Yeah. Mhm.
about that organization and where they can find that resource, and maybe it's in a place near them. Who knows? And
Yeah.
you had never heard of that, and then you were
Mm.
introduced to it, and you found a new way of life. And then I
In
think
Spain,
that's
imagine in Spain. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So they really they are spread out all over the world by now. It's a non-profit organization also, but really they're dedicated to help individuals to improve in their life.
that's
I like that.
wonderful. That's very
Mm.
noble and a great,
Mm.
great mission.
Mm.
So thankful that you shared this with us, and I'm glad that you actually, or it found you 20 years ago, and it
Yeah,
opened up a whole new world for you, and it brought us together, right, Christine?
absolutely, Lori. And it's kind of what made me the ambassador a little bit on the German aspect about it or for it, because yeah, I cannot imagine my life without this philosophy. That's very
Mhm.
simple. Yeah.
So it
I
helped
really
complete you.
believe. Yeah, yeah.
Not only complete, but it helped you in your healing journey. And who would have known 5 years before that happened? Would you have thought of something like that? No. So it came at
Not at all, not at all. Life sometimes goes funny ways, isn't it? But if we are open and we do not decline, oh no, I don't want to do anything with that or that, I think the right thing will come at the right time for us.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's
This is
amazing.
this is when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, I believe that. Definitely.
So Christine,
Yes.
you have enlightened so many people in our audience, I know. And so is there anything as we wrap up, is there anything that you would like to share about the organization?
Yeah, I think because it's such a complete offer and each and everyone can pick what they want. What I like about it is that there is no magic needed. You reconnect with yourself and you get the simple basic guidance on how to do that. And it's for yourself, it's for your loved ones, and it will radiate and expand further out. So your personal life circumstances will definitely change, and the life circumstances around you also, because when we change, things around change also, but to the positive, and that's the beauty. Be encouraged to try something different.
That's right. Different just means different. It's okay. Just like you look at you and me. I'm Asian and you're European, and so different is okay. It does, and we can always have those similarities, and differences are okay. That's what I believe. And a change is okay. We both have faced changes, and that was okay, and it was for our better.
Yeah. And I have been living more than half of my life abroad of my home country. So I have always been a child of the world. And I love meeting different cultures. I love meeting people with different understanding, maybe beliefs, whatever. And it's important to be open to embrace it. No
Yes.
judgment.
Yes, no judgment, right. I know about that because I grew up post-war.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
which I once scorned, now I embrace. I love Japan. I love being Japanese. I love the culture. And I love sharing about how it can change people in this modern day and age. There's wisdom in the ancient principles, and you've discovered some of them. And that's great. And you're continuing to discover it. So glad that you have been on our podcast. And just want to thank you, Christine, for sharing your knowledge and about the organization, and people may be interested. So we'll leave that in the comments when we post this. Well, next month, July. So it's going to be a great episode for people to want to tune in and listen. So with that, yes, so glad that we met. So thankful, and I hope everyone on this will listen to, not just 10 seconds, listen to what some of the wisdom that Christine is sharing with us. And it also helps our rating and helps us to continue to go on so that we can do more episodes like this. I just am loving podcasting. I didn't realize how much fun it would be in meeting interesting people and getting to speak and make new friends, learn new ideas, and complete the cycle complete the journey that I'm on. Everybody adds a little part to that. So I want to thank everybody that's been on this journey with me. We've been doing this almost a little over a year, over 70 episodes. So we're just, in some places they say we're just beginning, but we are tapping into something that I believe is resonating with people, and that people this day and age really need. They needed, everybody needs a different way, and to look at things a little differently. Different isn't better. I mean, different isn't broken. Different isn't bad. It's just different, and it's okay. We can all learn and experience from other people and other cultures. So with that, I want to just thank every single one of you. Thank you so much. Domo arigato gozaimasu. Thank you for listening, and be sure to subscribe and comment. We love to hear comments. We love that, keeps us going, and we know that for us, it helps us to know that we're on the right track. I believe we are from the amount of downloads we're getting. We're getting quite a few downloads, but I would love to open this up into a conversation. So with that, I want to say thank you, and we'll see you on the next episode. And I'll say, ja mata ne, thank you, and domo arigato gozaimasu. I really appreciate every single one of you that are listening. So please subscribe, share, and comment. That really helps us with our ratings. So until then, I'll say mata ne or ja mata. And I won't say sayonara because that's more of a final thing. So I'll say ja mata or mata ne. So thank you so much. And thank you, Christine, for being a wonderful guest on this podcast. And I know that people will really enjoy this. So thank you so much.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Hi, do
Thank you,
itashimashite.
Lori.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Bye-bye.